This is probably the second simplest fly there is to tie. We're using a flat black thread. We're just going to tie what's called a thread midge. And the great thing about these is you can tie them in any color that you can get thread, and you can tie the ribbing in any color you want to. I'm going to show you some midges that we pumped out of the stomach of a trout on a recent fishing trip. You can see it's a very close imitation to what I'm going to do here. The only two materials for this are black thread, and it's better to be a flat black thread. And I'm going to use silver wire. Now, you can do this in lots of different colors. You can make midges to match the hatch wherever you are. To tie this in, the way I usually tie in anything that's rigid is I put it at about a 45-degree angle right where the thread is on the shank, and then I just use the hook to block it and then roll over it with the thread and then bind it down. So I've come all the way to the back of this hook once, and now I'm going back to the front. If you look at the midge larva, the first thing you'll notice is it's very, very thin. There's no taper to it. It has a very pronounced rib, and if you can see it on the video, when you're looking at these little midge in person, kind of up close, you'll notice that they have a white membrane sort of projection at the front. So we're not going to imitate that on this particular fly, but there's the body of the thread midge, just black thread. And now we're going to take the silver wire, and we're just going to run up relatively evenly spaced. Again, look at the midges in the tube. They do have a little reddish color to them, but you can see other than that, it's very similar. You could do this with copper wire on a brown body. You could really do this with any color body you wanted to, and you can add to this fly. So I can put a bead on the front, which we'll do here in just a minute with another fly. But there's the simple fly, and I normally hold this down and then pull up and just helicopter off the wire. And now, I said this is the simplest fly there is. And I'm going to build out a little bit of a head with the whip finish, just really a bump, which you'll notice that they do have. If you were to look closely at those midges in that tube, what you would see is that they have a little white membrane. This is bonnie cord. It's a macrame cord, and I've cut off about an inch of it. And if you just kind of roll it in your fingers, pieces of this, it'll unravel. And I use bonnie cord in place of antron for a lot of different things. You could use antron for this. The reason I like to use bonnie cord is, first of all, you get a huge hank of it for a few dollars. And second, it comes kind of pre-kinked, and I like it kinked up. So here we've got another hook in the vise. We're going to tie another thread midge. This time we're going to put those gills or legs or shuck or whatever you think that is that sticks out the front. It looks kind of like the membrane that you see when you're cutting chicken or steak or something like that. That membrane does not go backwards. It protrudes forward over the head of the fly, and it's very, very fine. So I'm going to come all the way to the front and start back a little bit, and then I'm going to tie in with a pinch wrap just a little bit of this bonnie cord. I'm going to trim off the back And I'm going to let the front extend just a little bit over the eye of the hook. And I'm going to trim it off. And you'll notice I just want a wisp. I don't want much at all showing. And then I'm going to go ahead and rib There's another thread midge with a little bit of an extension on it. Shuck, whatever you want to call this. The last thread midge I'm going to tie is an old favorite, a zebra midge. And I'm going to start with a 2mm bead. This is a size 16 hook. There we go, 3 thread midges.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe for all our videos and tight lines.